You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
This is jirardkhalil, better known to the YouTube video game community as the Completionist, web series he created in 2012, well over a decade ago. Now, the funny thing about a decade is that he also had a charity called the openhandfoundation, where for over a decade, he took donations claiming to be going to the University of California, San Francisco, and the Alzheimer's Association. But those statements were, in his own words, categorically false. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this, and quite frankly, I wasn't even planning on talking about this whole situation since a slew of other YouTubers have already. But as this whole fiasco was happening, I myself received the news recently from my father that my own mother was just diagnosed with dementia. So as you can imagine, suddenly this whole situation, it became personal to me.
That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I would strongly suggest you check out Karl Jobst's video on the whole thing. I'll leave a link in the description below, but basically, in a nutshell, after losing his mother to frontal temporal dementia in 2013, Khalil co-founded the Open Hand Foundation and initiated the annual live stream charity event Indieland. The purpose of the event is to showcase various indie games, conduct interviews with developers, and feature guest appearances from gaming personalities, all aimed at raising funds for dementia research. And then in November 2023, YouTubers Karl, Jobst, and Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers posted videos exposing for My90PF records. These records revealed that since it's a establishment in 2014, the Open Hand Foundation had not made any charity contributions, accumulating $655,520 in unspent assets by the end of 2022. During a call with the YouTubers, Jirard asserted that he only discovered the lack of donations in 2022 and was actively searching for an appropriate charity, having not yet contributed any funds. However, Jobs pointed out that the foundation's website listed the University of California, San Francisco as a recipient of research funding. But even after all this was made public knowledge during the October 2023 indieland event, Jirard had still claimed that the Open Hand Foundation was donating to USFF, the Alzheimer's Association, and the Association for Frontal Temporal Degeneration, knowing full well that was not the case. On December 9, 2023, Jirard uploaded a response video addressing the situation. In the video, he admitted that the funds had been held, apologized for misleading donors during Indieland 2023, and announced his resignation from the Open Hand Foundation. On the same day, the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration confirmed receiving a donation of $600,000 on November 29th. For going back to Jirard's response video, if you actually watch the whole thing and have any form of common sense, you can concur that although he starts off seeming apologetic, he shows little to no remorse, which in itself is very telling. But the smoking gun, at least for me, was towards the end, where his whole demeanor suddenly changes to one of anger.
That escalated quickly.
Content creators and influencers should be held accountable when faced with serious allegations.
That one didn't age quite so well.
However, the narrative can get taken so far away from the truth that the court of public opinion supersedes fact. I recognize and take accountability for all of my actions. At the same time, I am not going to let my reputation be compromised by allegations that are not true. I own up to my part in this, but I will not be painted as someone who is a con artist and embezzler. I won't be someone whose name gets tarnished without putting up a fight. I owe it to my friends, my family, and myself to stand up to this situation right now.
Bruh. So basically, to summarize, Mr. Completionist over here is now threatening to file a defamation lawsuit against Karl, Jobst, and Muta, who, let's be honest here, if it were not for them exposing this human piece of garbage, probably would have continued holding on to those donations for who knows how many more years, and continue to imply that they're going to places when in fact they were going nowhere. Like he says he is taking accountability, but the only thing this douche clearly cares about is his reputation. If he really gave a damn about his precious reputation, dude would have taken the L here. If his reputation is so important to him, all he had to do from the very beginning was inform people that their donations weren't actually going anywhere just yet until a large sum is accumulated, maybe even set a goal of $1 million, and then donate it as a one large restricted charitable donation. If he was transparent and honest from the beginning, all of this could have easily been avoided. But then again, who is going to donate to a charity knowing that their money's just going to sit there? It's much easier and financially beneficial to tell people that it is going places, even though the money sat in an account for nearly a decade. That is the issue here. And yes, like it or not, that is indeed charity fraud when you mislead donors like that. And that is the core issue here. No one gives a flying fuck about your reputation at this point. What people care about, especially the ones that donated, was that their donation was going to a good and reputable cause. Plain and simple.
The principal complaint, the principal accusation here was the fact that there was charity fraud. Misstatements were happening. You were raising money without properly declaring the intentions and the goals of this charity.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
I literally am about to like donate all this money today and prior to that, earlier this week and the week before, and I've just been sitting here crippled trying to figure out the best way to handle this, because I felt like if I donated the money the minute you guys emailed me, it'd be a situation of, well, he's trying to hide it and he's admitting guilt by doing that. And right. I never felt that way, but I understand completely that you guys could easily argue that, and it would just make me look more like a scumbag.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, you know, the ramifications of this are going to be massive for everything I've ever done in the space.
You don't say. So yeah, guys, I'm just going to end it there. If you're watching this and for some stupid reason you still support this guy, good for you. I don't care, but you should, because what he did cannot and should not be excused, forgiven, and especially forgotten about. And again, I highly advise you to go watch Karl and Muta's videos to get much, much more information regarding this charity circus that, although I would do think is now over and done with, is only just scratching the tip. And I mean, if I can leave you with anything here, it's this. This is one of my favorite quotes of all time, going all the way back to the staff room wall from the first job I've ever worked at. And I still try and live by it every day. And the longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And to steal a phrase from Muta here, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all agree here, well, the smart ones anyways, that the attitude that Jirard showed, not only in his pathetic excuse of a response video in regards to how he handled and flat out blatantly lied about this whole situation, was without a doubt the wrong attitude, playing the victim instead of taking proper accountability.